Today we're going to be focusing on recipes from the 1960s. I've got a good assortment planned and I can't wait to share them with you. Hey y'all, I'm Mandy and this is Mandy in the Making. So not too long ago I did a video where I shared several recipes from the 1950s. It was this video right here. So if you missed that, be sure to go check it out. And y'all seemed to love that video. So I thought, okay, let's go forward a year. Let's go to the 1960s. Now in that last video, I shared with you a couple of cookbooks that I had from the 50s. But in the back of this cookbook, I have a lot of newspaper clippings, a lot, from this column in the Greenville, South Carolina News, back from the late 60s to early 70s. Unfortunately, I can't tell the date on most of these because the date was cut off, but I saw the date on a few of them. So it's a what's cooking column and people just wrote in and shared recipes. So I looked through these and I don't want to say I was underwhelmed, but I was underwhelmed a little bit. There wasn't a whole lot that I was like, I feel like this was definitely a 60s thing, you know, like it was popular back then. So I went onto the old Google and did my own researching and found several recipes that we're going to try today. But for a fun little treat, I have a page of a magazine that was 1961 is what it says on here. It is a CoverGirl ad for their compacts, face powder, and their foundation. Straight out of the 60s. I love it so much. It says, at last, a CoverGirl complexion so natural you can't believe it's makeup. So cute. Okay. Oh, and on the back of that was a recipe that my grandmother had pulled out of a magazine. So we're going to kind of go away from these recipes here, but I wanted to share that with you. Our first recipe is one that may have been popular in the 60s, but my mama made it when I was a little girl. Now, I don't think she's made it in a very long time. Mama, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but have you ever had a carrot and raisin salad? I remember thinking it was meh, it not being my favorite thing, but I haven't had it since I was a little girl. And I'm guessing my mama made it because she grew up with it, because she was growing up in the 60s. So I would imagine it was pretty popular and she had it, so she made it for us. So I'm interested to see what I think of it today because my tastes have changed over the years drastically. So let's make it. Now, I am only making about half of the recipe because I just don't know how it's going to go. And I don't know how my two guys are going to like it either. This one should be interesting. But the original recipe calls for about a pound of carrots. I'm using about a half pound, but we need to shred these. Okay, so let's just peel these real quick. I'm going to use my cheese shredder to shred my carrots just because it makes it really fast. So we'll do that. Okay, there's 2 carrots shredded in like 30 seconds. Yes, please. So let's dump those into this larger bowl so that we can mix everything together. Now it says I need 1 1/4 cup of raisins. So I'm gonna go with what? About a half a cup, I guess. Do you like raisins? I love them, especially when they're in trail mix. Oh, was that a full-blown stem? Sure was. Okay, we'll pretend that didn't just happen. Okay, so let's put that to the side. In that same bowl I did the carrots in, we're gonna mix up our liquid-ish mixture. We need some mayo. About a tablespoon and a half is what we're gonna do. Not a lot. 1 heaping tablespoon I feel like should be good. And then we need some lemon juice. We only need like a teaspoon of lemon juice, or maybe even less. So I'm just barely cut a little bit of lemon off. Let's just stir that together. And oh, we need a little bit of salt. For the original amount, it says a 1/4 teaspoon. So seriously, like a little tiny pinch of salt. All right, that's that. And let's just add that to our carrot mixture. We'll see if it's enough. If it's not, I can always do some more of this. Oh yeah, that's plenty. You don't want it swimming for sure. Cole, I have your new favorite dish.
My new favorite dish?
Uh-huh, come on in here.
Why is that? Hold up.
His face. I hate y'all missed his face.
That's carrot and, I don't know.
Raisins.
Raisins and...
mayonnaise. And lemon.
Mayonnaise and lemon. Why don't you just leave the mayonnaise outside to get that lemon taste to it?
Ew.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's... Now, I mean, we can eat it now if we wanted to, but you're supposed to chill it for 30 minutes. So I'm going to put the lid on this and just put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes.
I wouldn't do that.
Oh, Cole.
I'm a little scared.
While that is chilling in the refrigerator, we're going to make something else that is very popular from the 60s that also, I believe, needs to chill in the refrigerator. And that is a very simple 2-ingredient dip. Do you know what I'm talking about? Now we're going to pretend that this is Lipton onion soup mix. It's not. It's the Aldi brand onion soup mix. But I'm pretty sure this came out in the 50s, like this dehydrated soup mix. And I believe this recipe originated in the 50s, but really caught on and was super popular in the 60s. So all we need is a pack of this and some sour cream. Have you ever had French onion dip and wondered how to make it on your own? You just need 2 ingredients. Now I'm only going to be using half a pack because I'm going to be doing only 8 ounces of sour cream. But if you're making a large amount, you would use a whole pack of onion soup mix and a 16-ounce container of sour cream. Okay, so I opened it up. If you've ever worked with it before, you know all the onion flakes are kind of towards the top, and then the powder part is more towards the bottom. So I didn't want to just try and empty half of it into my sour cream because it wasn't going to do right. Okay, so let's just kind of mix this really well. We're going to dump this entire container of sour cream and about half of this mixture, and that's it. Mix that around. So if you're ever in a pinch and someone is coming over kind of unexpectedly and you have some chips on hand and you have these 2 ingredients, which I feel like I always have onion soup mix in my pantry and I almost always have sour cream in my fridge, you can still make a great dip for when they come over. Okay, I tested it and it's great. You can serve it right away, but it's best if you let it chill for just a little bit in the fridge. So this is gonna go in with our carrot and raisin salad in the fridge. It's been more than 30 minutes. Do a little taste test of my onion dip. So simple, but so good. I could eat this whole thing. You ain't ready for this. Well, you're ready for the first one, but not the second one. Okay?
All right.
First one.
Okay.
Onion dip.
Not too good of a chip. All right, come on. Come on, Tinkerbell.
Oh, I broke mine.
See there.
I gave you the better chip. Tink. Just goes to show you, you don't have to have a ton of ingredients and have
Wow.
something really fancy in order for it to taste good.
So is this like onion and sour cream?
Yes, the onion soup mix and sour cream.
Ah,
That's it. 2 ingredients.
that is delicious. But let me tell you something. These chips,
Those chips are good too.
man, wow. That dip is super smooth. Really smooth and creamy. Great onion flavor.
So much better than ones you get out of a can at the
Man,
store.
I mean, these chips.
New favorite?
Yes. This is the way forward.
Okay, Titus.
I can't have but a few of these now.
I know, same here. Okay. Now, you ready for the other recipe?
Yeah. What you got?
Open it up.
I'm scared. What is it?
Just open it up.
Only you got some spanning to do. Okay.
This is called a carrot and raisin salad. Did your mom ever make this?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, that's one of them. That's one of them dishes I skip over if you see them on the table. You know, that's one of them. I look at it and be like, I think I'll pay. Okay, let's try this. Tink.
It's
Too
still,
bad.
it's still just meh to me.
No, it ain't hitting hard.
But it ain't bad.
Not bad.
You want to try it? Here. Get you a little bit of raisins? Yeah. Cole was like, he said, uh-uh.
It's good. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, let me, throw this away.
Right.
It was good.
It's
not
meh.
Yeah, it's meh.
It's just kind of, yeah,
Middle of the road.
middle of the road, you know. I mean, some people like bland stuff. There's people out there that don't like a lot of flavor and they don't like a lot of heavy, big time contrast.
This
and
is
that's-
definitely pretty bland.
I don't really know what you could do to sauce it up a little bit. Maybe
Now, I
some
saw
salt?
some, well, it has salt in there. I saw some recipes that included pineapple.
I mean, that'd really jazz it up.
But Mama didn't make it with Mama, did you make it with pineapple? I'm pretty sure you didn't.
Mama. Ask Mama. Mama.
We're like meh, but we're over here eating it. Well, I mean, we ain't gonna waste it. We're gonna eat it. That's why I made half of the recipe. I was supposed to make double this.
I'll make double. You ever made something Stephen doesn't like?
This.
It ain't the best in the world.
It ain't the worst, though.
It ain't the worst.
I've made worse things.
Yeah, you have. You have. But I still love you.
Uh-huh.
All right, what else you got?
Nothing yet. I'm about to cook something else.
Oh, okay, good.
All right. So that is 2 of our 1960s recipes. Now we have one more, and it's what's for dinner tonight. So here we go. Wait, before we get started on dinner, I was planning on making a dessert recipe. The most famous dessert from the 1960s, other than that's when all of the Jell-O mold, the gelatin molds, became very popular. So that was a big dessert thing. My mom used to make like fruit cocktail. She would dump a can of fruit cocktail drained into Jell-O and it would harden. We had that all the time as kids too. But the most popular cake recipe out of the 60s was called the Tunnel of Fudge cake. And while that sounds amazing, first of all, I'm not the greatest baker, but I thought I can attempt this. It'll be okay. So apparently the Tunnel of Fudge cake came around in 1966. Ella Rita Helfrich entered the 1966 Pillsbury Bake Off contest and took home second place for her Tunnel of Fudge cake. However, this recipe is still on Pillsbury's website. It has very mixed reviews. Very mixed reviews. And there were a lot of 1-star reviews because apparently the original ingredients that Ella used back in the 60s, it's no longer a thing. So you have to kind of improvise to try and make it the same, but apparently it's not the same. So I didn't want to waste a ton of ingredients to make something that potentially wasn't going to be good and wasn't necessarily going to be my fault either. It was just that the recipe is not quite there. So if you've ever had the Tunnel of Fudge cake and you have a good recipe for it, leave it below, or you can always email me as well. But I'm very interested. Have you ever tried it? Do you have fond memories of that? And have you ever made it? I need to know. Now on to dinner. We are having a very simplified version of chicken Divan. Is that how you say that? Cole just turned around and looked at me funny.
Is it?
Divan. It is Divan. Okay, I'm saying it right. So we're having a simplified version of chicken Divan. Apparently chicken Divan was very popular in the 60s. I think it was popular in the 50s too, potentially, but it was very popular in the 60s, so we're making it tonight. I've got this tiny little rotisserie chicken. Look, this is my hand. She's tiny. But I need to shred this. You can just cook chicken if you want to, but I'm just going to use the help of rotisserie today. To get started, we need to preheat our oven to 350. Also, while I'm over here, let me tell you about Inglenook & Co. Their candles, they have all kinds of stuff. They have some body products. They have candles. I use their soap. We only use their soap in our house. But she gave me a discount code so that I could offer you guys a discount. They are made of soy, and their soy is harvested in the US. Their high quality fragrance oils that they use to scent these are phthalate free, and their wicks are made of pure cotton. So it's better for you candles. I ditched candles that are all that synthetic stuff a long time ago. It was giving me migraines. It was making me sick. And we've been using Inglenook here in our house for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years. So let me tell you a couple of the scents that I love. I do love this one, Bungalow Breeze. It's so fresh and it's such a good summer one. Another one that I love is this Vintage Vanilla. It smells like a bakery. It is wonderful. I love this one. You can see we're about halfway through this particular one. And then this one is my favorite of all time. It's the Strawberry Torte. It smells like my strawberry pie that I make. It is amazing. It has the best strawberry scent. It does not smell fake at all. It's wonderful. It smells like I have a strawberry pie baking in the oven. And then most recently I got this one, which is called Cranberry Harvest. It is her large one. It is the 48 ounces. If I can get the lid off one-handed, there we go. It's got 4 wicks on there and it smells amazing. I can't wait to use this in the fall and winter. This is what their soaps look like. I do like this scent, but my favorite scent is Charleston Sweetgrass. It is amazing. It smells so good. We've been using their soaps and only their soaps for about a year now, and we love them. So this is not sponsored by any means, but I just wanted to help out this small business. She is in the same county as me. It is a small business. I've met Amy several times. I've gone to their soap barn and gone shopping several times. But if you wanted to check them out, you can check them out online. Their website is just inglenookandco.com, and you can shop. And if you use code Mandy15, you're gonna save 15% off of your order of $25 or more. I love that she gave me a code to share with y'all because I love her candles and her soaps. So I really hope that you guys can go check her out. Okay, I'm making not quite half, maybe like 3/4 of the amount of this recipe, just because that rotisserie chicken was so small and I don't have 4 cups of chicken. I got about 3 cups of chicken. So I've got to alter it a little bit, but I'll always have the recipe listed in the description box. First things first, you need a 9x13. This is more like a 8x11. I'm not sure. It's a little bit smaller, which is fine because I'm not using the full amount. But we're going to spray it with our spray, and then we're going to put our chicken in. And you need about 4 cups of cooked chicken. It can be diced or kind of pulled apart like I have. The original recipe calls for 24 ounces of broccoli florets thawed. I'm not going to use this whole bag. Mine are not 100% thawed. They're pretty close, but they're not 100% thawed. They'll be all right. You know what? I'm going to cut them down a little bit. Some of them are quite large. I'm just not a fan of those huge chunks of broccoli. Now let's set this to the side. The original recipe calls for 2 cans of cream of chicken soup, so I'm going to use about 1.5 cans. I'm going to go in first with this can, which is the cream of chicken with herbs, and then I'll add about half of this can. In with our soup, we're going to add some mayo. The original recipe calls for 1/2 cup, so we're going to do a little less than that. Now you can use white wine or chicken broth. We're going to go the chicken broth route tonight because it needs such a small amount, like 1/4 cup for the full recipe, so that's plenty. And we only need about 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, so I'm going to add that in. So let's stir all of this together. Now we're going to pour this over the chicken and the broccoli. Now you need about 1/2 cup of cheese, so I've got more than that because I love cheese. But we're going to sprinkle that over top. Somebody else loves cheese and she's sitting over here quietly, so what is it? Oh, being a good girl. There you go. Okay. Happy as can be. Now we need to mix some breadcrumbs with some melted butter. So I've got about 1 tablespoon of butter. I'm going to pop this in the microwave. And to our butter, we're going to add some breadcrumbs. I've just got Italian, so I'm going with that. If you have plain, that's fine. But you need about 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs, so I may do a little less. I'm just going to use this knife. Now we're just going to sprinkle that on top of everything. So basically, to bake this, it just goes in the oven uncovered at 350 for 25 to 30 minutes. We're just heating everything through. Everything's already cooked, so we just got to heat it through. So let's go. Chicken Divan. What?
Divan.
All right, y'all. It looks really good. It smells really good.
Now this is more like my speed right here.
More so than the carrot and raisin salad?
Yes.
Yeah.
We got the cheese, we got the creaminess, we got the broccoli, we got the chicken.
A little bit of cheese, a little bit of breadcrumb.
Breadcrumb?
Breadcrumb.
Breadcrumb.
Oh.
Tink. That's good. Oh yeah.
Man, that's so good.
Yeah, that's what you go back for at the family function right there. That's exactly right.
Oh man, gosh, that's so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's so creamy. It's definitely comfort foodish. Oh man.
That cream has got some flavor in it. Rachel said, flavor.
So, have you ever had this? And there's lots of different versions of this. I did notice that online. There was lots of different versions. I chose this one because it was more like an easy casserole, but there's some more sophisticated ones out there for sure. But this one is delicious.
Yeah, this is really good. Comfort food. There's lots of flavor in the cream.
Yeah.
Cheese, breadcrumbs, just got that, I don't know, that casserole texture, classic, you know.
So it calls for cream of chicken soup, but I got the cream of chicken with herbs. So it has a little more flavor to it.
Okay.
This is my favorite one from the 60s that we've made.
Ain't no doubt about that.
Tell us below, what is your favorite recipe from the 60s? If you grew up during that time, what was your favorite recipe? One last recipe that I'm not going to make today because I've made it before is the grape jelly cocktail meatballs. Now, I've always just done frozen meatballs just because I'm taking the easy route. But apparently, the chili sauce and grape jelly concoction, I think it was kind of born in the 60s. And they said it rose to even more popularity in the 70s with the popularity of the slow cooker, because you could make the meatballs and then put it all in the slow cooker and just let it cook in the sauce. That is one of our favorite recipes. Although over the last few years, I now make it with chili sauce and cranberry sauce instead of grape jelly. I like that flavor even more. But there you have it, 1960s inspired recipes. Let us know below what you think, what your favorites were. One of my favorite things about the 1950s recipe video is the comments. So I want to see your comments and hear all of your stories today too. If you haven't already, please go ahead and just hit that subscribe button. It is free to do so. And that just lets YouTube know, hey, always show me her content so you don't miss anything. We love y'all. We thank you for being here, and we will see you next time. Bye.